Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? How are you?
All right, not bad, not bad. Second. Okay, so
Is your
we got.
camera working?
Oh, yeah, my bad. Sorry for work. I always like have it set to that.
Oh. So yeah, how's it? Yeah, how's it going?
Everything's going okay. I mean, I've been doing the UWorld
Hmm.
stuff. It's been going well.
Yep.
Um, and I definitely feel like I'm getting stronger with the psych soc
Mm.
stuff, which was definitely a little bit of a concern at the beginning because I wasn't sure why, but now I'm getting much better with it. So that's working. Um, the bio stuff, I mean, it's good and then it gets a little difficult. I know the Jack Westin bio is like purposely much more difficult than it is on the exam.
When you say the Jack Westin bio, are you talking about like what are you talking about exactly?
The bio section on theirs.
Like they're like passage-based ones, they're like discrete questions that you did from the content diagnostic, or
Well, from the I have updated our thing
okay.
a couple of times. I don't know if you've seen it right now, but I did a couple of the full lengths from them as well
Oh,
and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah, because I had done a concept diagnostic a while ago kind of deal, so I just decided to go with the full length again to see where I was like fully at
Oh,
again.
yeah, so the thing with the content diagnostic is that we didn't get to like fully go like
Yeah,
for it. So because there's especially like the chem physics stuff, a lot of that stuff yeah, we haven't like really gone over. So uh yeah, I would say not to do any more full lengths right now, um but yeah, to make sure that you understand because yeah, if you're saying that like the it's harder like the bio section or whatever for the passenger based stuff, like we want to first make sure that we get all the content stuff down because if you're getting questions wrong because of content issues, um we need to address that. Um so yeah, what do you think?
yeah, I mean that works too.
Okay.
What do you call it? From like where the Q bank stuff too. Um, I've been noticing where I have a lot of trouble is the um what is it? Here. Like separation techniques I've been having a difficult time with.
Okay.
And then physics and pretty much a lot of its totality kind of deal. I've been good
Yeah.
and then not good with.
Yeah, so yeah,
Um,
that's why I definitely wanted us um to make sure that we cover those physics concepts because uh okay, so what would you like to go over today? Because the thing like I guess what I'm trying to say is that like psych soc it's good that that's getting better for you, but that's like content stuff, me-
mhm.
meaning like for the most part it's like you either know it like or you don't, so
Yeah,
you can learn
yeah,
uh mostly like on your own for that. But yeah, for like the physics stuff, it's
yeah,
harder to learn that on your own. So that's what I feel like I can
yeah.
like close with. Yep.
And cars has been good for me. That hasn't been an issue so far, too
Yeah, yeah.
much.
I had that feeling for a while. So
Yeah. When
okay.
I did one of the Jack Weston full lengths, I scored like a 498, and it was because I got like 49 of the 53 in cars correct.
Yeah, yeah. I think I
So I
see
was just like, all right,
the 128 in that.
yeah, something like that.
So okay, okay. Uh all right, yeah. So do you want to go over
Yeah, I won't go over incorrect ones right now for UWorld, but I would like to just focus on some physics questions.
let's
That
do
would be great to do.
okay.
I'll put, let's see, number of questions. I think we can get through 30. Good span. So I'm going to start sharing my screen.
Mhm.
Oops. Okay. Am I allowed to share my screen?
Yep. Does it
Oh,
say?
I see it now. I had to just open the thing more. Okay, you can see it, right? Awesome. So,
All right. There's a lot of stuff here already that
yeah.
we can talk about. So, so okay, a couple of things, right? So, what is resistivity?
Uh, well, resistivity would be the amount of what a force going against an object in
So,
that sense.
so resistivity is so okay. In physics, force is a very, very specific word uh
Mm-hmm.
to mean something that, well, it's a vector that causes an acceleration. And
Mm-hmm.
there's like ultimately like just like four forces in the universe. There's
Mm-hmm.
gravity, there's electrostatic and magnetic, which we can call electromagnetic.
Mm-hmm.
There's the strong force, which is not going to be too much tested on. There's the weak force as well. Now, when you have electricity,
Mm-hmm.
you essentially have is movement of electrons, right?
Yeah.
So let's say this is oops, like a cross section of a wire,
Mm-hmm.
and inside of this wire is going to be a bunch of copper atoms. Like it doesn't have to be made out of copper, but let's just say it is. Um, and electricity would involve one end of the wire having a high voltage, um, which we could say to mean like so a voltage is basically a charge separation,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like if you think about a battery, like where you have a plus end and a minus end,
Mm-hmm.
you need to have a membrane that separates. So
A
like,
resistor. Yeah.
well, so not a
Right?
resistor yet, but like let's say like the battery in your phone or the battery in your computer, like a lithium ion battery, which is like
Mm-hmm.
constantly charged lithium cation. There's going to be a high concentration of it in this top part of the battery
Mm-hmm.
and a low concentration on the bottom part. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I drew this horizontal line as something that separates the two,
Mm-hmm.
like the two regions.
Yes.
So this means that lithium cannot freely move around inside of the battery, right?
Uh-huh.
So now if I took a wire, like a current carrying wire, and I connected the bottom end to the top end, what will happen is electrons will move from this bottom end to the top end because everything in nature wants to move towards equilibrium, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the bottom end, since it has a smaller concentration of lithium ion, we can say that uh, it's going to have a higher concentration of electrons. And the top part, since it has a higher concentration of lithium cation, is going to have like a deficit of electrons. And when you when you close the circuit with the wire, you enable the flow of electrons from one end to the other end, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can use these electrons for, well, electricity. Now, eventually, right? Eventually, enough electrons will have left the bottom part to get to the top part until, oh, yeah, until you have equilibrium, which is when you have no charges anymore. Like you have a neutral top part of the battery, a neutral bottom part of the battery, and
Hmm.
that's when you have a dead battery, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what if so I want you to see here that voltage, right,
Hmm.
is this charge separation. And you can see it a lot of times for the word voltage, they can use the word potential,
Hmm.
and that's related to potential energy. It's just potential energy per charge. So you should know, and by the way, for units are super, super important. So a volt is joules per coulomb, and joules is a unit of energy.
Hmm.
Coulomb is a unit of charge. So voltage, because this is something that is kind of hard to grasp a lot of times. Voltage is that charge separation, like the energy that is stored through that charge separation.
Got it.
Okay. What if I made a hole in this membrane?
Um, in the I'm having trouble seeing which battery are we talking about?
Over here?
Okay. If
So
you made a hole in the membrane,
yeah.
wouldn't there be in wouldn't the positively charged go down into the negative?
Yep.
There would be an influx into the negative end.
Yep. And
Okay.
that'll mean that you lose the charge separation.
Yes.
And if you lose the charge separation, you lose the voltage,
Uh-huh.
and your battery can't function anymore.
Oh.
So so now I'm talking about this because like it's not like I'm talking about a lot of like different separate things.
Hmm.
Uh, what I'm about to tell you is going to be the type of thinking that you want to have on the MCAT.
Yeah.
Means that tell me about the Krebs, well, electron transport chain.
Hmm.
Tell me a bit about it.
Um, Still trying to get that down
Oh,
packed, but I do know it's I don't know if I can draw.
so
I can draw. Okay, there you go. I know that the electron transport chain goes.
oh, you could if you want to draw it, you could draw it on the right over here.
Yeah, actually. Okay, okay, I just want to make sure.
Hmm.
Okay. So that's when you have like this like thing, whatever, feel and stuff, and then there's the influx here, and then you have another here, uh, and then
Okay, so you're showing me like the
yeah,
specific
the diagram, and then there's NADH over here, and then the H leaves, and then NAD plus.
Yeah. So okay, so you're telling me about like yeah, the specifics, but if you zoom out, right? So
Mhm.
like see what I'm drawing down here?
Okay. Yes.
What do you think, this stuff is?
Oh, well, that's the membrane. So
Okay.
we have a hydrophilic center, hydrophobic center.
So this is the mitochondria, right?
Hmm.
With the outer mitochondrial membrane, the intramembrane space, the inner membrane and the matrix, right?
Yeah.
Now, uh in the electron transfer chain, exactly what you're saying, electrons from NADH and FADH2 go to these complexes. And
Uh-huh.
as that happens, protons get pumped into the intramembrane space, right?
Uh-huh.
And that creates a higher concentration of protons in the intramembrane space, right?
Uh-huh.
And let's say this is ATP synthase. So the protons can go through the ATP synthase because of like, like it. will go from high concentration to low.
Hmm.
And the ATP synthase can harness that concentration gradient to like pump out some ATP, right?
Hmm.
Now, since there is a high amount of H plus here and a low amount here, do you see that this is kind of like a battery, right?
Yeah.
Because something that they can ask you that they like to ask is, what if you had, so there's like 2,4-DNP, which is a molecule that creates a hole in the
Hmm.
in the inner membrane.
Yeah.
What would happen in that case?
Repeat that one more time.
So let's say you had a molecule like this that
Hmm.
makes a hole in the inner mitochondrial membrane.
Okay. All right, and this black center you have here, right?
Yep.
Okay. If it makes it there, then there would be an influx of the H plus ions into the low.
Okay. Now tell me what could be some repercussions of that.
Um, Influx of ions into the lower ion space creates too much of a higher concentration below, can possibly lead to cell rupture, that type of deal.
So what happened?
Or just,
So so let's say before we added the thing that made the hole, what's the
mhm.
reason that ATP is being made?
HP is being made because, well, if that's the electron transport chain. Well, it's being made to break down the NADH to separate it.
So you just want to like let's zoom out, okay?
Hmm.
Don't worry about any like molecules, right? So
Okay.
the electron transport chain ultimately pumps these protons from the matrix out of the matrix, right?
Hmm.
And we have therefore a charge separation, right?
Yeah.
And the ATP synthase is the only way the protons can go back into the matrix, right?
Yeah.
And so the ATP synthase is just harnessing that natural chemical gradient to turn into ATP,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
So, what if we made a hole in this inner membrane?
If you made a hole in the inner membrane space regarding the,
To zoom out.
so if we made the hole in the inner membrane space, zooming out.
That's when I start. I mean, a hole in the inner mitochondrial membrane.
Okay. Um, well, we would still have that influx of ions, no?
Okay.
Okay.
So it'll go through the hole then, right?
Hmm.
So now it doesn't have to go through the ATP synthase, right?
Oh, so then that would leave. Okay.
So
So it
yeah.
would be imbalanced.
No, no, no. So the entire reason ATP is made is because of this proton gradient.
Hmm.
If you make a hole in the inner mitochondrial membrane, the protons can just go through the hole, and they'll do that until they reestablish equilibrium. And when you have equilibrium, you no longer have a charge separation.
Oh,
So
Oh,
you have
okay.
nothing driving the ATP synthase.
Synthase.
You're
Okay,
not-
so then the electron transport chain just becomes null and void.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay,
So
that's
kind of like outline what we were talking about here.
mm-hmm.
Like eight like yes, you need to know like whatever, complex four and that stuff, but it's more important to be able to zoom out and think
Understand
what
the
is
concept.
yeah, because like what is driving all of this? It's that charge separation. And what did we say earlier? We can say or we can call a charge separation a volt.
Mm-hmm. Voltage. Oh, voltage gate?
No,
No.
no.
Oh,
So
sorry, sorry.
it's good because it you know your stuff,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
No, voltage gate ion
So
channel.
but what I'm saying is this charge separation, right, between the protons
Mm-hmm.
is a voltage,
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's a
right?
voltage. Okay,
And the
understood.
mitochondria is a battery.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that?
I see it. Okay,
It's
I
a
definitely see it now.
right? Because it's just
Yeah,
like this, right?
yeah,
And that's how you can harness it. So being able to think interdisciplinarily, right? Because
yes,
we combined um and by the way, like a battery like is also an electrochemical cell.
yes,
Like, you know, like in chemistry, the weird thing with like the two beakers.
yes.
So like I usually don't explain it that way because it's like you never see that, right? Like I've never seen
Yeah, no, it's not really.
so I always draw it like this, right? Because that's like what we see normally like batteries look like. But
Yes,
but basically what we're doing here is we're combining the Gen Chem concept of electrochemistry with the physics concept of a circuit, which I guess we'll get to, with the bio concept of creating ATP.
yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, okay,
So,
got
all
it.
right, back to this. So, okay, this wire here. And the reason I went there is because the questions that you want to be asking is like, okay, so like if electricity is electron flow, what's causing the electron flow in the first place? It must be a change in voltage, right? Or a voltage, right?
Yes,
Okay, good. So now going back to the wire here, if electricity is the movement of electrons, you can think of the electrons brushing up against the atoms of, like, let's say the copper wire.
yeah.
And whenever you brush up against something, there's like you make friction, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happens, so like, because you guys have carpet, like tell me
Mm-hmm.
about like what happens if you I don't know, like slide across the carpet really fast.
Uh, rug burn.
So,
It gets hot.
uh-huh.
Mhm.
And let's say you have had your carpet like of infinite length, and let's say I don't know, let's just say like you like get ejected from something and you fall on the carpet, like you kind of like I don't know how to like describe it, but you'll eventually stop, right?
Mhm.
And that's because uh velocity that you have or the kinetic energy that you have gets lost to the environment through that friction,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
So you get rug burn because when you have that type of high friction, energy gets lost in the form of heat,
Mhm.
right? So now
Yes.
apply that to a wire.
Mhm.
electrons moving through the wire, brushing up against the atoms of the wire, producing a type of friction, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That means that energy gets lost to the environment in the form of heat. So heat starts to, like temperature starts to go up. Okay.
Yeah.
So resistance, right, is going to
Mm-hmm.
be something that um, creates essentially like a type of friction and therefore heat from the movement of electrons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to do, whoops. So I'm going to draw a side view of, let's say, you know, a wire with a bunch of these copper atoms. And we have our electron here. And let's say the electron's moving in this direction. And let's say that we can count like the number of copper atoms it brushes against. Like, let's just say it's like some number X.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and let's say then we made this longer with
Mm-hmm.
same kind of ratio of like the copper atoms.
Mm-hmm.
Would the number of copper atoms it brushes up against increase or decrease?
Um, so say that one more time.
Oh, okay.
So we have the copper wire. Okay. Uh-huh.
So wait, sorry. So wait, before this,
Mm-hmm.
let me show you some like thing to so start thinking in terms of proportionality, and what I mean by that is like let's say you just had an equation like F equals ma,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now,
Yeah.
uh
Force equals the mass,
times the acceleration,
right?
and it's the net
Times the acceleration. Okay. Got
force.
it.
But like people, especially with physics, like people always have a misconception of like, okay, just memorize the formulas and all of that. But you're gonna see that the an actual equation might have all the pieces, but the relationships are what is important. So I'm gonna use a symbol like this. Whoops. Like kind of looks like a Jesus fish.
Yeah.
Okay. So this
Yeah, it's not proportional to acceleration.
oh so sorry. So this means that let me draw it
Or
back.
inversely proportional?
Oh, so this means it is proportional,
Oh, okay.
right? Meaning if F goes up, A goes up. If F goes down,
Oh,
A goes
yeah.
down.
Okay.
But if I were like, I'll do like if A is inversely proportional to B, it would be proportional to 1 over B.
Yeah.
And um getting like into the habit of viewing things this way is just going to be fundamental for you. A lot of people do something like this. A goes up, B goes down. That's
Hmm.
not what I want you to do because that's not going to help you out mathematically. But yeah, so like if I were to graph the relationship between things that are proportional, if it's a linear proportion, it would look like that. If it's an inverse, it won't look like this. Well, actually, I'll ask you that a different time. But for right now, uh, what I said before about resistance being tied in with heat or temperature, I can
Hmm.
say that for sure, right? I can say that uh, I don't need an equation for that. So I'm going to write resistance is proportional to temperature. I just wrote that here. So this is
Sorry,
just
I'm like trying to write all this.
so I'll just like send you the recording.
Okay.
Okay. And you
Yeah.
can take notes and stuff there. Um, so, okay, yeah, from what we just talked about, we could safely say that resistance and temperature will be proportional. And we don't need like a fancy equation for that because we know that these two properties are related in that way, right?
Okay.
And oh, and then we could also say like resistance is proportional to the number of atoms, you brush up against.
Yeah.
Okay. Now back to this drawing on the bottom left.
Hmm.
Um, if so let's say that this green electron is moving to the right and it brushes up against these copper atoms. And
Hmm.
as it does that, it gives off heat, or
Hmm.
it loses energy in the form of heat, raising the temperature. Now,
Hmm.
if I made this wire longer by adding this segment on the right,
Hmm.
and it's made of like, the same, density or whatever, distribution of copper atoms,
Hmm.
what would happen to the number of copper atoms that the electron will brush up against if I added this longer, if I made it longer like this?
It would be more, so it would render the voltage to be higher,
Voltage?
right? I mean, not the voltage, the um temperature to get
Oh,
higher,
or resistance
or
too,
resistance.
right?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
not temperature, right? So
Hmm.
I could say that this could be proportional to length. And by the way, like these are all then proportional to each other as well. So like even though I'm writing like resistance is proportional to length, if resistance is
Hmm.
proportional to temperature, that also means temperature is proportional to length, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you see that we're identifying the proportions and relationships like this.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, let's say alternatively, we instead of making it longer, we made it wider. What do you think
Hmm.
might happen?
Temperature would decrease because we're increasing the surface area, but if it's only that one, it's not gonna be touching too many copper atoms as we keep going. So the resistance and temperature is going to be less.
Exactly, right? Because it has more paths. And
Yeah.
it's gonna choose the path of like literally the path of least resistance,
Yeah.
right?
I remember seeing one of the questions here on the UWorld. It had to do with like capillaries versus vessels and everything like that. So it'd be like what would have the highest resistance, and then the right answer was capillaries since they're so small. Their surface area is so small.
Oh yeah. Interestingly enough, that's another they like to have another they use that as another example of a physics application for biology. Like the
Hmm.
heart, like I had like a student who was asking me like, what causes blood flow in the first place? Because and it's the heart. And the heart has to do that. So the heart could be thought of as the voltage and the blood flow could be thought of as the current, and then like I guess vascular resistance or like stuff could be considered the resistance. So okay, now that we established this, I would write 1 over area, right?
Hmm.
Okay, now quickly about so now to bring it home to a circuit, right?
Hmm.
I drew a circuit with resistor 1, resistor 2. What can you tell me about this circuit?
So what are we passing through this circuit exactly, or where is this starting and ending?
Oh, so
So wait, resistor one is here, so I'm guessing we're going from, can you see my cursor?
yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing the current's starting from here, and then it goes through one and two, and then background.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so like I guess circuit convention real quick. So
Yeah.
this like if I go up here with the battery, where I do the battery, is the same thing as this. So in a circuit, a battery is drawn with the positive end just being a horizontal line, and there's like a gap, and then the negative end is a horizontal line that's a little less wide.
Yeah.
And this could be a little confusing, but um, since like whatever, Ben Franklin like discovered electricity way before we discovered the electron,
Hmm.
current is technically in the opposite direction of the electron flow.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use pink to indicate current.
Yeah.
So it would go this way from positive to negative.
Hmm.
But in actuality, you have electrons going from negative to positive, like up here.
Oh, okay. So the circuit convention will go that way, but then electrons go the other way.
Yeah.
So you can say it's inversely proportional.
Yep. And
Okay. So the amount of circuits going in from from left to right is the amount of uh the amount of circuit going clockwise is the same amount of electrons going counterclockwise.
yeah, yeah. So you could think about it
Okay.
like this also, like um that uh so electricity or the movement of the electron uh is whatever is electricity, but current is the movement of if you imagine the electron just being positively charged.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that's the convention. So yeah, so here we have the current going this way, and yeah, it goes through resistor 1 and resistor 2, and then it has to go back to the bottom, negative end of the battery. So now is this a series circuit or a parallel circuit?
1 second. Okay. Um, so are you what the R1 and R2?
Yeah.
A series circuit or a what?
Parallel?
Um, it's not going to be parallel.
Okay.
It'll be series because it's going through one resistor to resistor, but it's not on either side of
Okay.
each. So yeah.
Now, do you think, what effect do you think, like, okay, let's say compare it, like, if we just had resistor 1, right? Compared to
Mhm.
that, if we add this resistor 2 in series, what does that do to the overall resistance?
If we have a resistor series,
Yep.
the overall resistance, well, if it goes through two resistors, it would increase.
Tell me why.
Um, well, as it passes through one resistor, it's already building enough more temperature, and then it's building more temperature by going through the second, and then it basically shoots out to the rest.
Okay. So we can think of adding resistors in series as the equivalent of
Hmm.
making a longer resistor.
Hmm.
Do you see that?
Say one more time.
Oh, so when we add resistors in series, it's
Hmm.
essentially the equivalent of making a longer resistor.
Oh, okay.
And that's why the formula for the equivalent resistance is just the sum of the resistors.
Okay.
Now, tell me about this circuit.
Um, oh, okay. Um,
So like,
Okay, are the I want to say that perhaps the electrons going
so,
back.
so wait, real quick, like, did you
Huh?
like learn this in school?
No, I never took a formal physics course.
Oh,
Was my thing.
oh,
They maybe take a bunch of chemistry and like
yeah.
ridiculous amounts of bio.
But physics is required for med school in the MCAT.
For some,
Oh,
but like a lot of schools like drop their prereqs, and some of them the prereqs only require chem
okay,
and
okay. So
bio.
okay, so what I was th like saying before about like, we need to focus on physics. Now that means like a 10 trillion times more. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, we got to make sure that because physics and like, if you look up the MCAT scores by major, you'll see that
Yeah.
like the physics majors like have the highest scores, even in like the bio section and stuff, right? So
Hmm.
that just highlights the importance of physics on this test. A lot of people uh don't realize that because they think if it's med school, it's going to be related to bio, but there's more physics on it, and physics is going to translate into the bio sections and all the other sections as well. So we need, I would say, like, yeah, we need to do really, really hardcore physics dive. Um,
Yeah,
Really
that's.
important. Okay. So
Hmm.
this is called a resistor in parallel.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
And so that means that when the electrons hit this, it's called a junction, which is when you can have a split in the wire. And when that
Hmm.
can split, the electron has like the option of going down into resistor 1 or going down into resistor 2
Yeah.
rather than having to go through both.
Hmm.
So what you're doing here now is you're creating the equivalent of a resistor that has a higher area.
Hmm.
Because, like in this example here, remember when you said that if you have a higher like cross-sectional area, you have
Hmm.
the electron brushing up, it can brush up against fewer electrons because there's
Yeah.
more paths.
Yeah.
So that's why in a parallel circuit, you're going to have the equivalent of a wider resistor, which means that the equivalent resistance decreases.
Okay, that's what I was figuring.
Yeah, and now, so the thing is, the equation for this is this, and
Hmm.
usually, like, when I have students who talk, like, we go over this, like, they just, like, memorize the equations and stuff, but when you see this, you can then see that because like the equation that I just wrote is kind of like a weird looking equation. Like it's 1 over equivalent
Yeah.
resistance is equal to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2. And if you have this is a reciprocal sum. So if you have a reciprocal sum,
Hmm.
uh you end up decreasing the overall amount,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
so if I wanted to um so let's say in this parallel circuit, if I wanted to decrease the rate, if I wanted to decrease okay, so let's say that, um, as you said, as the electrons go through the resistor, it creates heat, and which causes an increase in temperature.
Hmm.
Um, and let's say that we have a coffee maker with like a coil,
Hmm.
and it like whatever, you fill it up with water, the coil heats up and it heats up the water,
Hmm.
right? Now, if let's say I wanted it to do this faster, would I add a resistor in series or would I add one in parallel?
Okay, so we have a coffee maker in coil, you said.
Yeah, and basically think of like I drew like a circuit in there, so think of like the resistor as the coil.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, well, if we have a coffee maker, we want to increase as much as possible. So it would be a resistor in series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me and then show me your chain of logic.
I mean, if we're talking about a coffee machine here, so I'm guessing like the best analogy I could put is that, you want to pull a shot of espresso, you need a lot of energy for something like that. You need the
Oh,
water to shoot through.
so, like I'm really just saying like coffee maker. I mean, really, I guess I just mean like a boiler.
Oh, okay. Well, it needs a lot of energy, so you need to increase the temperature and everything. So, if you need to increase temperature, you need to increase the resistance, and plus the way that this was drawn and
Yeah.
stuff doesn't indicate a resistor in parallel, so it just indicates a resistor in series. So
Whoa, whoa,
it would
whoa.
just go.
So if we have one resistor, it can't
Hmm.
it can't be series or parallel.
Yeah, but my reasoning is like I don't see an extra resistor on the bottom of it or anything, so it wouldn't be in parallel. So therefore, it's just
Yeah.
going to be nullifier in series.
Yeah. So I think what you're saying is because I asked like, do we want to add one in parallel or series? And you said
Hmm.
we would want to add one in series. And that's right. If you add one in series,
Yeah, you
you
would increase the temperature and resistance.
yep. So you would increase like the chain of reasoning, I want you to think of like this, right? Okay, it's like
Hmm.
okay, we want the water to be of a higher temperature, and therefore we want the water to receive heat.
Hmm.
And if it receives heat, we need the resistor to lose heat, right?
Hmm. Yes.
And how do we generate the most heat from a resistor? Well, if we added a resistor in parallel, that would reduce the resistance, which means it would reduce the heat that it gives off and therefore won't work that well. But if we add a resistor in series, we increase
Hmm.
the resistance, which means we increase the amount of heat, and that's going to heat up the water faster. So this is an application of what we talked about to something like thermodynamics and relationship between the uh, uh, just basically that in thermodynamics you have a system and a surroundings.
Hmm.
And if you want the surroundings to get, let's say, hotter, the system has to lose energy like heat energy
Yeah.
and vice versa. So I'm combining it with that too. So yeah, so this way we covered a lot of topics. And um, before we wrap up, I guess I'll say that. Oh, what do you think so far?
No, this is great. Definitely much needed. And it does definitely basically answer a lot of different questions within the physics realm of these questions.
It's
So
gonna
I can start.
it's gonna help you with all of the sections you'll see.
Yeah, getting it to think in this way is much easier
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
because I'm not much of an equations person. I'm not like great with that per se. I'd rather like if I'm gonna end up doing math, like most of the time in these questions anyway, they tell you like what basically they hint at what you need to use anyway. So as long as you can think in the form that they're asking you to think, that's fine and
So
stuff. So as long as there's like a visual representation, I'm okay
so you
that I can
actually
remember.
have like a that's like a blessing in disguise because people who are overly into the equations, think of them as plug and chug.
Yeah.
But you have an advantage in that you're not held back by that. And if you
Yeah.
just simply and like you see how like here I didn't even like there's no equation that is gonna say like atoms brush against, right?
Hmm.
But that's what it's actually happening. So just being able to think in terms of proportionality like that, like you were able to show me that in this question that I asked, that you were
Hmm.
able to connect everything logically, all the relationships logically, like pretty much instantly. So I think that you have like, the brains to do this and that, yeah, don't worry too much about being good or bad with equations. Think more so about uh
Yeah, I gotta think logically.
yeah, but specifically in terms of proportionality,
Hmm.
right? So it's like, you know, stock prices could be an inverse proportion to maybe gold,
Hmm.
right? So,
Yeah,
or
stock goes down, gold goes up kind of deal.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with like other hedges like treasury, crypto and things like that. So let's do this. So um in the spreadsheet, the content tab.
Hmm.
So I took the content, and I'm gonna send the video after. So I'm gonna erase this, and you'll have it. Um,
Hmm.
but do you know what I mean about the content tab?
I believe so. Hold on. Where's, uh, where's it? Oh, got it. How do you do how do you oh got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's it.
There it is. Okay, got it.
Yeah. See down here, so like these tabs, like if you go there.
Yes.
Okay, so this is directly from the AAMC,
Hmm.
and every time you do like let's say UWorld or Jack Westin or anything, right?
Hmm.
See that you got a question wrong on some concept, go to this. I think yeah, like go to this, and this is gonna be like officially from the AMC, what's fair game on the MCAT, right?
Hmm.
So just do like a control F and type in um I don't know, resistance. Okay.
Yeah.
So now
Hmm.
you see that, okay, this is under the broader category of
Of electrochemistry. Hmm.
electrical circuits. And by the way, electrochemistry is the gen chem,
Hmm.
electrical circuits is the physics, and you're gonna see that they're combined, right? Like So okay, now what do we need to know? We need to know about charge, conductors, Coulomb's law, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Current, the voltage, resistance, Ohm's law, resistor in series, resistor in parallel, resistivity with this relationship,
Hmm.
which is really just a weird way of them saying. So really quickly, just
Oh.
resistivity because it was in the question. So remember, so I wrote resistance is proportional to length and inversely
Hmm.
proportional to area, right?
Hmm.
And resistivity is represented by rho, and it's an intrinsic property of whatever material it's made of. So now if I have these three separate proportionalities, I can put them together to make an equation. And that would look like,
What does L stand for again?
oh, length.
Length. Okay.
Remember? Like it's like uh
Hmm.
yeah. So and this like row term is resistivity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now I have all these proportionalities. I can combine them by doing it like this, right?
Yeah, resistance equals resistivity times length over the area.
Yeah. And you see how
Okay.
I was able to construct this equation by taking these relationships that we were able to figure out ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And so them writing this is just them rearranging it.
Okay.
Okay. But that's what yeah, so that's what I want you to do. I want you like yeah, as you can like and UWorld is a really great resource to learn like stuff because they give really good solutions. Yeah. So back here, so we'll just do this real quick. So like yeah, the resistivity of nichrome wire
Mm-hmm.
increases with temperature. So when we see this, right,
Mm-hmm.
right away, I want you to write resistivity is proportional to temperature,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like, this is something you have to know, but even if you didn't know it, it tells you. So start writing proportionalities, and then they're saying
Mm-hmm.
as the current passing through the wire increases,
Increase temperature and the wire increases.
uh,
Therefore,
we can
mm-hmm.
write current is proportional to temperature as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
So
value
the values for the voltage across and the current wire are measured, which graph shows how voltage varies as the current is increased. Well, if we have increased current, we have an increased voltage. So, I mean, the only answer here that would make sense in that, um, because they're not mentioning that there's a carrying capacity happening either. So that would nullify B. It's not going down, so that nullifies D. I would leave A or C. Um, C is two inline. It's so A would have to be the correct answer.
Tell me what he said when he said like two in line.
Um, what do you call it? It shows an increase, but it's too gradual to be considered voltage increase with temperature.
So this would be if I had like A is proportional to B, and this
Hmm.
is a direct proportion, but it is a linear
Yeah, it's linear.
proportion,
So
right?
we're talking about temperatures and increasing voltage, so we have to think about exponential. Yeah, exponential
Uh,
growth.
exponential. This over here is going to be like a bit like hyperbolic in a way, and like you're gonna
Yeah,
see
that's
this.
why I was starting to say a carrying capacity.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
starting to reach some sort of K constant.
yeah. Or like Michaelis-Menten kinetics.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Because
now
man, yeah.
And now this inverse proportion, whoops, will look like this. But okay,
Hmm.
yeah, so they're telling us this relationship, and uh voltage as current is okay. So okay. So we do have to know one formula for this, and it's um Ohm's law, right?
Hmm.
And also, we should know resistivity length over area. So the thing
Hmm.
is that resistivity increasing with temperature means that as this increases, resistance increases, right?
Hmm.
And they're telling us that the current, as that increases, the temperature increases,
Hmm.
right? So that's why this is going to be exponential, right?
Yeah.
Because if we just increased resistance, right,
Hmm.
and voltage, right, then that would be linear.
Hmm.
But since this is increasing the voltage and this is increasing it,
Hmm.
it becomes that uh it becomes the like the proportion. Sorry, not the proportion, but it becomes exponential because you have two factors both causing that increase.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's Ohm's law again? It
Oh,
says voltage equals 1R.
oh, sorry. So the I is
Oh, I. Okay.
yeah, that's uh probably the most important one for circuits.
Okay. And what does I stand for? An increase? Or
Oh, I stands for current.
oh, I stands for the current. Okay.
Yeah. And current is going to have units of coulombs per second. And if
And
coulomb
then R. Uh-huh.
and if coulomb is like a unit for charge, you can think of it as the number of charges per second, which you
Mm-hmm.
could also think of it as the number of electrons per second.
Mm-hmm.
But but what I want to show you though is that like okay, your reasoning to get rid of B and D was great, but to figure out between A and C, even though you chose like the right one, we want to make sure that we know that it wasn't like guess.
Mm-hmm.
So from Ohm's law, right? If it so if they gave us two,
Yeah, they said the current increases and then the resistivity is increasing, so therefore then it's an exponential increase.
yeah, right? Because if you just had the current increase,
Mm-hmm. Then it's linear.
exactly, okay. Yep. So
Got it.
yeah,
It's basically if only one of them in that equation goes, it's linear. If both of them go, it's exponential.
exactly.
So, okay. And
Yeah.
then now submit.
Yep.
Oh, wow, a good amount of people got this one wrong.
Yeah, do you see? Because they chose the they cho so like this shows you that you eliminated these and a lot of people did too. So then
Mm-hmm.
it becomes a more nuanced question of linear versus exponential.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's the type of thinking that, you want to have. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that your logical skills, your deductive skills and all of that are really, really good. So but I just want to make sure that we get get primarily like the physics concepts down. Do as
Mhm.
much like right now, I would say like get as much physics done as possible through UWorld. Like do
Yeah.
see like read the solutions, use that content tab,
Mm-hmm.
and then do more questions, and then raise your level of understanding, and then the for our next meeting, um, like we're just gonna like get through as many like physics stuff concepts as possible.
Yeah.
And I think I think you have an aptitude for it, so I think that um yeah, I think that's good. Good
Yeah.
thing to do.
This is correct quickly, right? I just answered this. I was pretty sure.
So
RGBiz.
um so this goes into the topics of like photons and quantum mechanics and absorption and electromagnetic waves. So there's a
Uh-huh.
lot of really good stuff here, but let me see. What may take place as a light emitting object begins releasing electromagnetic waves of progressively higher energy. So red to green to blue is going up in energy, but another thing that they like to do on the MCAT is not ask you straightforward questions. So a lot of times we need to make sure that we understand what it's asking.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like that would be yeah. So like either this or if they're asking about what's happening to the light emitting object, it might be the opposite. And there
Mm-hmm.
could also be like, how if something absorbs red light, it'll look like a different color, but in
Uh-huh.
terms of just the types of energy, because you know what I mean? Like if this gives off like energy that goes like from red to green to blue, this object will go from blue to green to red. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So we want to make sure that we do that. Uh,
Yeah.
but that ultimately means that it can be this or it can be blue to green to red if it's the reverse, but these two are not like, this would be in this order, this would be in this order. So that's another kind of like strategy. Um,
Yeah.
you
If
know,
it's absorbing, it would be blue, green, red.
yeah,
Okay. But this one is releasing, so red to green to blue.
yeah. Let's see. Okay, good, good, good. Um, but yeah, awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. And then like, yeah, you can see like, learn this stuff. But yeah, I think that yeah, you're a super smart dude. So I think that we're gonna really, really crush this. Like I think we really do well. All right, yeah. Anything else?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
We have our meeting on, I remember correctly. We have a meeting on Monday at 1
All right, and
and Wednesday as well.
today should be 59,
Hmm.
and yep, that's it.
All right,
That's like
awesome.
half the price I like charge now. Your grandfather to
Yes.
But yeah, really good to see you, man. I hope
All right.
your health everything's going well.
Thank you. Yes, it is. It's doing all right. So,
All right,
thankfully.
all right, take care, man.
All right.
See ya.
Take it easy.
Yep, see you on Monday or
All
something.
right.
All right.
Yeah, see you on Monday at 1.